Yes, you read that correctly. I am currently in $16,681.40 in credit card debt with 28% APR on most of my cards. And not only that, but I also have to make $3,000 payments for the next 5 months every single month. And so you may be wondering, how is this 21-year-old in this situation who's also in college? How did he get himself here? That's a story for another time because that's a long entire story. But actually, I'll get started. So, a little bit about me because this is my first episode ever. I have so much to cover in this one episode. It's currently Thursday, July 10th, 1:27 a.m. It's my first episode to what I'll call the PLOG. It'll be a YouTube series. But seriously, you might be wondering, like, what is this 21-year-old kid shirtless on his desk chair like doing with his life to get himself in $16,000 of credit card debt? And it's a it's a series of very unwise financial decisions, at least from the outside view. Don't worry, I'm okay. I'm sure I'll be able to handle it. We'll see. My credit is basically maxed out, and you know the minimum payments and the interest payments are crippling. But you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds. But the reason why I wanted to create this series is because I wanted to document what life was like during these toughest of times, because everyone likes to show off, you know, when they've made it. You know, the Lambos, the jets, the traveling, the G-Wagons. Speaking of G-Wagons, I made a Lego. This is actually my dream car right here. It's a Mercedes AMG G63. Oh, this part broke off. And I also have a little Smitsky I got from Japan. Of working. It just happened to be a laptop thing. Very blessed. Oh, also, I'm very ADHD right now. But also, I have a no button. So whenever I need to say no to something, I just press the no button. Wow, I went everywhere. But the whole purpose of the series will be to document, like I said, right, the struggles, like the really raw moments of what it takes to become great, of what it takes to make 10K a month, because that's the golden number nowadays, right? 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, like what it takes to get there. And I haven't really seen anything like it where someone is like straight up to the camera and be like, hey, by the way, guys, this is how things are going. And I plan to be as transparent, as authentic as I can. I know I might not be able to share everything because business stuff, and confidentiality, I think that's how people say it. But like the goal is to be authentic, because I want to be able to look back on these episodes and be like, wow, that's what life was like. And my kids to be like, wow, that's what dad was like. Or my grandkids be like, wow, that's what granddad was like. Or Uncle Pete, what Uncle Pete was like. But the biggest reason why I'm in this amount of debt right now is because I believe in myself. I believe that, like, the only reason why I got into this amount of debt is because kind of like my thought process was, okay, if I can invest, by the way, none of this money went to buying any expensive, like, tangible item. There's like no cars, no house, nothing like that, no clothing, nothing like that. All of this debt went to buying courses and investing into more mentorships. And you might think, Peter, that's stupid. Like, what are you doing? And yes, it might be really stupid. But my belief is that the person I become in the process, not only through like the debt, which kind of molds me into who I am, but also the knowledge I gain from these mentors and these courses is invaluable. Because if there's one thing that no one can take from you, not the government, not your parents, not your wife, like not thieves, nothing. No one can take this one thing away from you, and it's knowledge, and it's your skills. And so if I can jump ahead, and if I can learn from the mistakes of the people who are where I want to be, and if I can learn from their mistakes and also their successes, I can get there much faster with a lot less pain. Or, well, I'm going to go through pain regardless. But it's kind of like a life hack. That's how I view this debt. It's on my end, I genuinely don't think it's stupid. I think it's a great investment. And I think it's going to pay itself off as long as I put in the work. And that's something that I've struggled with for a long time. You know, there's so many different forms of resistance, whether it be procrastination, being lazy, you know, not having discipline, whatever it may be, or like limiting beliefs, whatever it may be. You know, that's what this channel is for. It's for overcoming them and showing you guys them in real time. And I have invested, well, guys, well over $30,000 worth of courses at this point. It's scary to even say, right? It's like, damn, that's a lot of money. But, you know, if you really think about it, if you're a millionaire, that's like a droplet in a big pond, right? That's not that much. And so I believe there's an abundance in this world. I believe there's a lot of stuff. And I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm excited to have you guys on board. If you made it this far, like, damn, congratulations. Like, I don't know why you're here, but well, welcome aboard, right? And if you're on this journey with me, if you're in a similar situation, just know that you're not alone, right? There's lots of people making stupid decisions like me over here, right? But who believe in the future, who believe in themselves, who believe in the people that believe in them, right? And just know that I'm one of the people that believe in you. And so, to sum it all up, right? The reason why I'm in $16,000 in debt is because I took a bet on myself, right? And that's what business is all about. It's taking a bet on yourself and, of course, also on other people, but it ultimately starts with you, right? In this case, me. And so the purpose of this channel, I wrote it down here on my little laptop, is to document my lessons as I'm growing every single day, right? Even if it's by 1%. And there's a Japanese philosophy called Kaizen, which kind of embodies this. It kind of embodies this idea very nicely, which is to improve every single day by 1%. Like every single day, just continuous, constant growth. And that's very reminiscent of my, I don't think that's the right word, but I like it. Very reminiscent of my middle name, which is Dien. It's a Vietnamese word. And what it means is to basically march forward. It's to basically always, you know, move forward. Always, in my eyes, always grow. Right? Oh, my phone ran out of storage, but we're gonna continue. And so that's the whole point of this channel. And I really hope that, you know, the people that I know don't see this. And that's a whole belief in of itself that I need to work on. But I'm scared, you know, like it's embarrassing to be in the situation and have people who don't understand look at you and frown upon you, you know, to have your classmates, to have your, you know, your closest friends, to have your family know like how you're feeling deep inside. And that's something I've always struggled with. But, you know, now it's all out in the open. You know, everyone has access to this. It's like, you know, it's a blank canvas, basically. No secrets, nothing. And that's scary. But I know it's going to be worth it because I know it's going to inspire a lot of people. I know I have a lot of wisdom to share, and I know that it's going to be a fudging epic comeback and a hell of a story to tell and to share. And so with that being said, like, today is day, you know, this is version 1 of Peter, 1.1 to be specific. And I'm going to keep adding the numbers, so V1.1, 1.2, 1.3, until I hit 10K a month. That, like, 10K a month of revenue. That is the goal, right? And so today's 1.1. And so what did I do today? So I slept at 5, because I'm kind of I was kind of jet lagged, right? So I slept at around 5:30 a.m. Woke up at 9:30 a.m. I drove to a cafe, and I had a meeting with my appointment setter. I basically apologized and took ownership for disappearing for a month to go to Japan and not holding her accountable, giving her direction and guidance on what to do. And I just basically, you know, set their expectations straight and took accountability for it. And I did the same with my nutritionist. By the way, I'm an online coach, an online fitness coach. And yeah, I don't like being called an influencer, but you know, it is what it is. If I gotta be called that, I gotta be called that. But anyway, after that, I sent client messages, and then I also, you know, fixed my Wix landing page. So every time a person books an appointment, right, they'll be redirected to a landing page that basically says, "Thank you for booking. You know, we can't wait to see you soon." And then I did something called the DM Sorcery, which is like a module in one of my mentors' programs. And then I headed home. I hit the gym with my boy Ratish. Hey, Ratish, if you're watching this, I don't know if you're ever gonna watch this, but if you're watching this, shout out to you. We hit the gym. We hit shoulders. I love the guy. He's so wholesome. He's a down to earth guy. And then I cleaned up my entire my entire apartment. I'm throwing a ton of stuff away. And then I shower, and then I ate. And I also talked with room. I want to show you something quick. So if we go to Shred at home, right? This is what the landing page looks like. Bam! And the video autoplays, it's on mute. But look at this. Oh my gosh. Isn't that tough? Anyway. And also, you know, this is kind of my desk setup right now. Right? Nothing too crazy. This is my room. Little room tour real quick. My roommate sits there. I went on the bed just now, so that's why it looks a little unkept. But these are this is my summer cleaning. Throwing that away, throwing these 2 bags away, a lot of stuff. But I cleaned out a lot of the stuff. Now it looks really neat and organized. So that's pretty much it. This is our restroom. Nothing too crazy. Oop, my phone died again. But you know, it's getting late. It's 1:40 a.m. I gotta be up early, and I gotta grind my stuff, my work for tomorrow. And I basically have to make a ton of payments every single month. And I have to, by August 9th, I have to have $3,000 in cash ready to make my payment for the program. And if I don't, I'm screwed, basically. And so it's time to work, you know, it's time to finally lock in. And there's nobody and nothing holding me back except for me, right? There's no excuse I can make except that I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't do enough. And that's a scary thought. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to close this out. Hi, my name is Peter. I'm a 21-year-old, currently in $16,681.40 of credit card debt, with a ton of APR, with monthly payments, and on top of that, $3,000 monthly payments for the next 5 months. And I'm excited to see where this life takes me. So it's a pleasure meeting you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, PLOG out.